Welcome to my weekly Wednesday chat about art, creativity, and surface pattern design. And today is a very special broadcast because I'm calling it Show Me the Money. And tell me in the comments if you remember the movie Jerry Maguire that had Tom Cruise and Renee Zellweger in it. And one of my favorite lines in the movie was, "Show me the money." And as a surface pattern designer, it's important to know the different ways in which you can actually monetize your work. And so today I wanted to dive into the 7 ways that you can do that. And within each of these broad categories, there are many, many additional options, but I thought that it would be helpful to sort of organize it into these big categories. And I'm also going to share success stories from students of mine who've come into my Doodles program, and then they've also continued on their journey with me in the Pattern Design Academy. And enrollment is open right now just for the next 5 days to my Pattern Design Academy program. And so I want to get you super excited about the ways in which you can monetize your art, and I can help you do that. So let's get started. Let's jump into the 7 ways to monetize your designs. And let me start from the very beginning to let you know there are many more than 7 ways, but I've put these into big categories so that it's a little bit easier to get your arms around where you might want to start. Remember this slide from the beginning of Doodles where we talked about the different product categories that you can focus on? And this is not an exhaustive list. There are many, many, many additional product categories, but this is a great place to start because one of the things you're going to want to do is pick a category and make progress in that category before you move on to the next one. There are so many business opportunities, and so in order to help not give you a sense of overwhelm here, I'm going to talk about 7 concrete ways that you can achieve success as a surface pattern designer, and I'm going to give you concrete examples of students who've come through Doodles and then invested in the Pattern Design Academy who then achieved success in each of these categories. The first one is licensing. This is one of the most popular methods for getting your designs out into the world, and it's not just limited to the fabric industry. Once you're a licensed designer, you earn income based on the percentage of your sales, either based on wholesale sales or retail sales. And the reason licensing is interesting is you can take the same design. See this design that I'm showcasing on the left that has my name and the selvage? I can sell that design to a fabric company that's going to put it on upholstery, if it worked in that particular category, but I can sell that very same design to a different company. I can license that to a different company for wallpaper or for wrapping paper. And so the beauty is one particular design can get licensed across multiple industries, in multiple geographies of the world, and also for different time frames. Now, here's an example of Annie Tempest. She is an acclaimed cartoonist in the UK, and she actually is an amazing creative. She sells watercolor prints. She also does sculptures and has had her sculptures in shows. She decided to explore surface design and came into Doodles first, and then was totally hooked and came into my Pattern Design Academy program so that she could learn how to create collections, which is what you see on the left. It's a whole series of patterns that work beautifully together. And there's an entire module on how to do this inside my Academy program. And those are some of her licensed designs for the interior design space. Another great example is Debbie McLaughlin. She's a retired software engineer. She's always wondered how people got their designs on fabric, and she is now a licensed designer with the Textile District. This is an image of her beautiful floral-themed collection that's called Morgana. Judy Patterson is yet another example of a student who went on to become a very successful licensed designer. She actually started out as a hand letterer, and she also quilts. She loves to quilt, and many of us are multi-passionate creatives, but she came into Doodles and then continued to hone her skills and learn all of the incredibly important skills you need to be able to become a licensed designer, and she is now licensed with Raspberry Creek's Fabrics. Let's move on to indirect sales. So this method involves selling your designs primarily on what's called print on demand or POD sites. You may have heard of some of them: Redbubble, Spoonflower, Society6. These sites allow you to upload your designs, select the products that they're going to look best on, and then publish those designs on their site. And you have to market your site, but you earn a commission based on sales. A couple of examples of students who've done this very successfully. Jamie Baronia is a professional graphic designer. She has an amazingly keen eye for color, and she, in fact, is offering a special color bonus in the Academy program this year that I'll talk about later. But she has a really fresh, modern, functional design aesthetic, and she, like many students, could be featured in multiple categories that I'm going through here. But she sells her designs through print-on-demand companies as one way to monetize her work. Shalini Ayer is another example. She lives in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and she's a mom, and she has a 12-year-old. She uploads her designs to Le Galeriste, which is specifically a company in Canada that does apparel and does various dress types of dresses. And so her niece is wearing one of her designs in the picture that you see here. Another great way to upload your designs to someone else who then does all of the manufacturing for you, but when you sell one of those designs, you get a commission. Carmelia Chavers is another great example. She is a published author, so when she came into Doodles and also the Academy program, she really wanted to increase her knowledge of how to use Adobe Illustrator to illustrate her books, both inside her books and her book covers, which is what you're seeing right here, and she also sells her products through Society6. How about direct sales? This is a picture of me when I was just getting started and I wanted to get feedback from customers directly. So I was featured in the art store in my local town. I was featured in the window as one of their local artists, and I was able to sell directly. I had just one little counter space, and I do love interacting directly with customers so I can understand what it is they want. So this is another way that you can sell your products, and you can do it on your website or in an Etsy shop, at local arts and craft fairs, and even, as pictured here, at your local art supply store. You just have to go down and ask. That's all I did. I took a box of my designs and I walked into the store and asked for the store manager. This is a small, locally run art supply store. And I just said, listen, would you be willing to let me sell these pieces in your store? And we negotiated an equal revenue share. So, she got 50% of the revenue and I got 50% of the revenue, and it was incredibly successful. She featured me in the window as a local artist, and so all you need to do is ask. Susan Palmer is another great example. She is a former sales rep for the quilting industry, and she would go from store to store to store showing other people's designs. And so she realized, well, wait a minute, why can't I create my own? So look at this gorgeous design. She sells quilts now that are designed with her own fabrics, and she also sells her designs into quilt stores. Another example is Kyle Young, and Kyle is a retired CEO of a major graphic design and ad agency, and she loves interacting with, she's very outgoing and loves interacting with customers, and so she sold over $1,000 of her newest products in just 3 hours at a church bazaar. And she told me that she made another $1,000 in follow-up orders after the sale was over. She got people's emails and then emailed them and then did follow-up sales, which were incredibly profitable for her. Jane Foster is another great example. We talked about her before. She fell in love with sewing at the age of 6. She teaches in-person sewing classes and has expanded her business now by offering fabrics with her own designs on them. So instead of having her sewing students go to Britex, they can come to her lessons and select from a variety of different fabrics that have her designs on them. Let's talk about subscriptions and memberships. I put both of these together under kind of number 4. Subscription boxes are a big business, as are creative memberships. I'm curious, tell me in the comments, do you already belong to a subscription-based creative membership? You might be in a you might be doing, instead of a book club or in addition to a book club, maybe you go to a watercolor painting group. Maybe you actually get a box in the mail once a month that has greeting cards in it. So this concept provides a lot of stability in your business because you're getting recurring revenue if it's a monthly membership or a monthly subscription. So let's talk about a couple of examples. Tosh lives on Kodiak Island in Alaska. She's inspired by the natural beauty that surrounds her and loves big, bold colors. She does ink and watercolor work, and she has a greeting card subscription. You sign up for it, and you get charged once a month, and that month you get delivered a unique set of handmade cards, along with a list of ideas of who to send them to. So brilliant, brilliant idea, and it adds this whole level of recurring revenue into Tasha's business. Kathleen Lambert's another great example. Now, she almost didn't join the Pattern Design Academy because she was so afraid of the tech, but she absolutely overcame that with my guidance and with my step-by-step approach. She's now known in my community as the Tech Maverick, and she has a creative membership. And she also enjoys selling her products at local arts and crafts fairs. So she's a great example of someone who's doing this in multiple ways, right? Monetizing your designs and your work in multiple ways. Now let's talk about retail stores. You can run a successful retail store even from a teeny tiny town in southern Sweden. It's a fantastic way to showcase your products, and depending on the size of your space, you can also host in-person workshops. So let's talk about Maria Alzanier. You're going to have an opportunity to meet her tomorrow because she's going to give us a tour of her beautiful studio and her retail store in Sweden. She is an accomplished watercolor artist. She lives in a tiny town. There are literally 45 people who live in her town, but there are obviously more people who can drive to where she lives, and she sells her products in the retail store that used to be a barn. This is the picture of it. That's the barn that is now her retail store and her creative studio. And she makes money from her art in a variety of different ways. She sells prints, she puts her designs on a variety of different products, and she came into Doodles and then also the Pattern Design Academy because she does very big, oversized watercolor work and wanted to know how to vectorize that work and turn it into repeating patterns so she could put it on more products. And she has a fabulous, fabulous bonus that she's added to the Pattern Design Academy, which shows you her exact process. all the way from turning what you see here on the left, which was in an original painting on her wall, into a repeating pattern, but also her manufacturing process, because she now has a new line of linen dresses. It's fantastic. So make sure you come tomorrow. You're going to learn more about Maria. Then commissions. How about commissions? So were you a fan of monogramming back in the day? Well, commissioned work is a great way to create personalized, one-of-a-kind artwork. You can think about baby blankets for newborns or dog beds for dog lovers. I mean, the dog industry is gigantic because people love to take care of their dogs and give them the best of everything. And there's lots of potential here. I also wanted to say that this is such an incredible example in the wallpaper industry, because we haven't really talked about wallpaper very much so far. But Robin Koza started out in the corporate world but realized that it did not bring her joy. So she joined Doodles and the Academy program because she wanted to do wallpaper designs. And this is an example of a commissioned piece called Lush Floral. It's absolutely gorgeous. And what she learned in the Academy was the business side of actually doing this all based on word of mouth in the community in which she lives. And the other really important thing she learned was scale and how to create something in that large, oversized scale that you see in this image, which is, you know, taking your skills to a whole new level. But isn't that beautiful? It's just gorgeous. So there's also teaching as the seventh category, and online teaching has exploded post-COVID and is another way to diversify your business. I think it's important to keep in mind, though, that it's very competitive and there's a lot of work involved. So if you haven't taught before, this is one that's going to require a lot more upfront investment than the other options we've talked about. If you have taught before, then you definitely know what's involved here, and so this could be a great option for you, in addition to some of the ones I've already talked about. What's next for you? It is not easy to be successful monetizing your art unless you have a roadmap for surface pattern design specifically. So can I share why the Pattern Design Academy might be the perfect next step for you? I have built this program with you in mind, and I truly believe it's the best program for creating, perfecting, and selling your artwork in the surface design industry. And the reason I'm so passionate about this is because it's really the only program you're going to find that shows you in an intimate, really small class in a hands-on manner exactly how to create beautiful illustrations and repeating patterns, and very importantly, how to get them into the eager hands of customers as fabric, wrapping paper, wallpaper, or really any other product that requires a design on it. There are 6 key building blocks that you need. The first is Adobe Illustrator skills. The second is a broad and comprehensive set of designs. You also need a very solid monetization strategy and a tactical roadmap to implement that strategy, as well as insights into what's working today in the surface design industry. And you get all of that delivered to you in a small class environment. The core program itself, and it's called an online course and coaching program for a reason, because the class is really small and you're not just going through this online course by yourself. You're getting coaching from me every step along the way. So it includes 8 beautifully crafted modules. There are recorded videos in the modules. There are downloadable guides. You get some workbooks. There are also practice files and more to support you. It is a complete step-by-step framework so that you can create the type of art you love, identify your style along the way, and also the products that your designs are going to look best on. And I cover what's working now in terms of creative business practices to enhance your entrepreneurial skills, because maybe you've always, like me, had a corporate job and now you need some entrepreneurial skills to grow your business successfully. So the core program is valued at $3,500. Now, how is it different from Doodles? It's not taught live, which means it's more flexible for you. You get modules on Mondays, so you can work through them at your own pace. Q&As are on Fridays. It's 6 weeks long with an implementation week in the middle, because who can find 6 weeks that are going to be perfect? There are never 6 perfect weeks, and so there's a built-in extra week to ensure that you can catch up. And this is super important. You get a private coaching call with me on Zoom. There are also amazing bonuses, and these bonuses are by alum of the program so that it enhances your overall experience and gives you additional skills that they use to be successful in surface design that built on what they learned in the Core Academy program. The first is a watercolor bonus by Maria. Please come to our session tomorrow because you're going to meet her and she's going to give you a tour of her studio. But this bonus is really important because she's going to show you step by step how she took a really big oversized piece of original art that she did in watercolor and how she turned that into a linen dress. And she walks you through the entire process, including the manufacturing portion. So this is valued at $497. It's not just a PDF download, it's actually a separate course. If you think that you can't draw, you're going to love this bonus. Or if you want to just enhance your drawing skills, Mindy Lighthip is a natural science illustrator, and she has a really, really amazing technique at helping build your confidence in your drawing skills. You are going to love this bonus, which is also valued at $497. Color. We all need more help with color and also with color palettes. Jamie Barogna is an accomplished graphic designer, but sometimes even she has trouble getting that absolutely perfect color palette. So she's sharing her years of experience in both color theory and this favorite app she loves to use called Color with Coolers. You're going to love this bonus, and it is also valued at $497. There's a quilting bonus, but it isn't just for quilters. Listen to this. Allie is a professional quilter, and she's going to dive into what makes scale work for quilting and for other industries. And by scale, I mean the size of your motifs. And you can see behind her that when you cut out your designs to put them into a quilt, you want to make sure that you're still going to keep the integrity of your original repeat. So you're going to love this bonus. And as I said, it's not just for the quilting industry. This applies even if you're, for example, doing huge size repeats like Robin Koza is for her wallpaper, her really big oversized wallpaper designs. It's also valued at $497. And then the fifth bonus is merchandising. It's from Originals to Retail Fun with Natasha Zahn, and she is going to help you take art that is sitting in a drawer, gathering dust, and actually figure out how to repurpose it so that you can turn it into some cash. So no more filling your drawer after drawer after drawer with work. You can absolutely repurpose those with easy steps to merchandise your art. And it's also valued at $497. So your bonuses, there are 5 of them, and the total value is $2,485. So bringing this all together for you, enrollment is open just for 5 days. The Academy course is valued at $3,500. The 5 amazing bonuses are valued at $2,485. The student Facebook group and your Q&A calls over the 6 weeks are valued at $1,500. And don't forget, you're getting a private coaching call on Zoom with me. This is a one-on-one session that's valued at $1,500. So the total value is $8,985. And you get lifetime access. That means you can revisit the course as many times as you want. I'm not going to charge almost $9,000 for this program. I want to make it as affordable as possible for you. So you have two options to pay for it. The option on the right is your 6-month payment plan. So you can get started today for $397. Now that's your initial payment on the payment plan. You'll then make 5 additional payments of $397 each, and those payments are 30 days apart. So this is a great way to get started. $397 down and then 5 additional payments of $397 each. However, if you would like to save some money and get an additional bonus, the one-time payment option of $1,997 is the option for you. It is the best value for sure because you save $385 and you get this extra bonus, which is my comprehensive guide to licensing. Let's talk about this pay in full bonus. It's valued at $597 and it is a separate course that gives you all of the information that you need step by step to get your first license. And it comes as a separate course with its own modules, and it also, you have a downloadable ebook version of it as well, which is super valuable. So there are additional unique features that are worth mentioning. We've already talked about no expiration, which is the lifetime access that you get. So when you buy the course, it's not like you only get it for a year, you get it for the life of the program. There's a global community. There are both Q&As, and we'll have an opportunity to do some really fun demos during those Q&As. You know my step-by-step teaching approach, and you know I like you to learn your way with the different modalities that I provide. And then very importantly, there is a money-back guarantee. It's a 7-day money-back guarantee, which means you can come through the program for the first week and go through Module 1 together with us. And then you can decide by Sunday if it's right for you, you'll continue. If it's not right for you, you just have to email me on Sunday at the end of the first week to let me know that you'd like a refund. And I am happy to refund your money. So I would love for you to enroll today by going to members.artwithanne.com/enroll. You'll land on a page that looks like this. You absolutely can read through the details. I've covered most of them, but take your time, read all of the details, make sure you're super comfortable with your decision. Then select the payment option that's best for you. This will pop up on the page in a couple of different places, but you decide what's the best payment option for you. Click one of the red buttons to enroll, and then you'll land on the actual payment page. This is what it looks like. This is the one-time payment. And you put in all of your information, you complete your purchase, and you will land on a thank you page. And please check your email, especially that spam folder and the pesky promotions folder if you have a Gmail address, because you'll get your login credentials, and then that means you can log in right away. You put in your email and you'll create a password. You'll have a temporary password, and then you'll make your own, and then you will be in the program, and the welcome module is ready for you. Do you see on screen where it says Welcome to the Pattern Design Academy, and there's a long gray bar there? You're going to click on the title, just on Welcome to the Pattern Design Academy. That will open the welcome module for you, and there are 5 things there waiting for you. Say yes to yourself and join us in the Pattern Design Academy. I would love to have you part of the class of January 2025. And remember, spots are limited, so claim your space by going to members.artwithanne.com/enroll. And I wanted to share a couple of really heartfelt stories from some of the women who I featured when we talked about how to monetize your work. Because Debbie said I wasn't going to join Anne's Academy because of the cost. But one thing you said changed my mind. You talked about your big Catholic family and how supportive they were, and that the first 17 people on your email list were members of your family. And that hit really hard. My parents and in-laws have passed. My older sister unexpectedly died right before COVID. I have one remaining sister who I don't see often enough. So having a group that is genuinely interested in the same creative endeavors is going to make a difference. Thank you for shepherding all of us on our journey. And as you might remember, Debbie is now a licensed designer with the textile district because she really took this seriously, and it's a serious investment. So if you invest in it, you want to take it seriously in order to achieve the success that you deserve. Denise Brown said, there are few people that make a difference in one's life that are as commendable and memorable in life as you are. I now have a role model for my career choice. I have recently begun a new life and marriage at 50 years young. My hubby is a woodcrafter and supports my artistic capabilities wholeheartedly. I now realize I had suppressed my freedom, the crazy, weird artist that is so alive and eager to learn how to apply doodles and sketches. She is really who I am, and I want to thank you for helping let that part of me emerge and blossom through surface pattern design. Amanda Clemson said she loved the short, bite-sized video lessons. It makes it easy to learn and it minimizes the overwhelm, plus all of the resources and downloadables are great. I felt behind a few times and really liked the catch-up week. I love your enthusiasm and support. It really helped erase any doubts I had. That was probably the biggest thing for me. Thank you. And then Wendy said, I highly recommend enrolling in Anne's Pattern Design Academy. Her thoughtful approach to workshop design enables a superb learning experience. Each lesson built on the other, and the accompanying workbook really enabled me to learn and practice at my own pace. After taking this program, I'm able to create a professional portfolio, and I've gained valuable insights into the business of surface design. The program is truly one of the best online courses I have taken. Anne's approach and availability to me and all of her students make all the difference. Regina also said that the Pattern Design Academy is a phenomenal program. Anne's style of teaching and passion for surface design made it easy for me to learn new skills that I can use forever. Her simple instructions and enthusiastic approach made this course stand out from the rest. Anne's communication with her students and upbeat personality are wonderful bonuses. I never felt that I was on my own to learn the materials. She was always available via email and the Q&As. I'm extremely grateful that I decided to enroll in her program. It's one of the best investments I've ever made. So say yes to yourself and join us. The Pattern Design Academy class of January 2025 is open for enrollment. Go to members.artwithanne.com/enroll. And don't forget my favorite quote. It's never too late to create. So let me come back on screen and answer any questions that you have. So I want to know what resonated the most for you when I went through the 7 big categories, right? The 7 big categories for how to monetize your work. I'm super curious which one of those resonated with you the most, and can you see yourself actually doing that and having the success that was described by many of my students? So that's my first question. And then my second question is, when you heard the student success stories, which one also really kind of made you feel like, I can do this? If she could do it, I absolutely can do it too. And so I'm going to leave you with that. Please add your comments in the comments so that I can go back through the replay and answer you back if you have any questions. But mostly, I want you to think about what does this make possible for you, right? Just future cast yourself 6 months from now and realize if you make this investment in yourself, what is your life going to look like at that stage when your work is put on beautiful pieces of fabric and turned into a shirt like this one. This is one of my very first designs. Or maybe you're more of a paper person like Tosh and want to create greeting cards and calendars and notebook covers and all kinds of stationery products like wrapping paper. There are so many different opportunities, and it's critical to have a vision, right? You want to have a vision, then you want to have a roadmap to follow, and then you want to have a community and a guide who's going to support you. So I always like to say in closing that I am Anne La Follette, and it's never too late to create. Put your comments in, what resonated with you the most. I can't wait to hear from you, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.